we're also seeing messages from China, a couple of messages this week. The cancel, or I don't know if it's a deferral or canceling of the Ant IPO. Jack Ma, because of some of the observations he was making about the government and regulation and the financial infrastructure or lack thereof in China. He was summoned, I think, by 5 regulators, and basically they were able to throw a wrench into the Ant IPO. So we'll see what happens there. Certainly, the government does not like someone like Jack Ma or anyone now in the private sector to think he or she is above the most powerful individuals in the government. So that's been going on. We think that that fight or tussle has been going on for a couple of years now. First, Jack Ma had to relinquish his CEO title at Alibaba, then chairman, and now he is brought in front of 5 regulators. So that's casting a pall, I think, on some of the Chinese stocks and sentiment towards China. But I would say something else came out this week. It was their 5-year plan. It won't be released formally until March, but they just had a conference which leaked some of the most important planks in the 5-year platform. One, that they are now seeking higher quality growth rather than quantity of growth. And that's sensible. We know that the money thrown at that economy has ended up in infrastructure, too much capital chasing too few opportunities. And so there are excesses there, certainly. And the other, I guess, message out of that is it would like to move up in terms of the value add in the manufacturing sector. So I think it has its sights on some of the great manufacturing centers of the world, like Germany, for example, the US to some extent. So I think we'll see more competition there. The second variable or plank was innovation. They've had a focus on innovation for a number of years now. The last 5-year plan had it as well. And yet I think what's happened because of the United States and our banning Huawei and fighting for intellectual property rights, I think they want to become more self-reliant, and we'll see how they do with that. I've been watching them for at least 15 years now, maybe 20. They had an objective back at least 15 years ago to become the semiconductor manufacturing center of the world, the foundry of the world. And that has not happened. SMIC has not kept pace with the innovation, even though they have imported talent from TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. So we're wondering if it's in their DNA. I would say self-reliance might cut them off also from the open source ecosystem that is evolving around the world when it comes to software. And I think that will be a problem. We were having a debate about this in our brainstorm a week ago. And I can tell you from opening up ARC's research and sharing it, giving it away, we have gotten so much back. And as the world moves at a faster and faster pace, and as technologies move even faster, I think that open source is going to be important. And if China cuts itself off, that it will be to its detriment. So it'll be interesting, but they certainly, in terms of innovation in the financial services space, they were way ahead of us in terms of digital wallets, and we're now starting to catch up with them. And so they can innovate. They're certainly entrepreneurial, but we're wondering, and we were talking about this in today's brainstorm about Tesla, is it possible that even though Tesla is employing all of these Chinese people, that they will not be able to reverse engineer the secret sauce, which is the manufacturing process itself. So, and then the third plank was they want to shift more decision making towards local governments and the private sector. So that's very good from a capital friendly point of view. And they also want to hit peak carbon emissions by 2030. So that suggests they are going to double down on accelerating the shift to electric vehicles and battery power generally. So one other thing we know they want to control, since they've really banned cryptocurrencies, with a digital currency, they would like the RMB, we believe, to be the reserve currency, certainly of Asia. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, cutting itself off from an open source ecosystem like Bitcoin might end up isolating China at some point in the future.